All right, good morning. Good morning. So we begin the rest of this day committed to sustainability, and most specifically today about food waste. So you may be asking yourself, really? We're going to do a whole series of presentations just on food waste? Well, yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. And we have a lot of very interesting stuff in store for you. Now, we see sustainability divided into food, energy, water, and waste. But the really interesting thing is they're all interconnected. And waste plays a big role in world hunger, resource consumption, and climate change. And for our businesses, because we're in the business of food, it's about running efficient and profitable kitchens. Food waste is tangible, part of our daily lives, actionable, and measurable. So we have a great lineup of speakers all morning that are going to flesh out this whole topic of food waste, and very importantly, eventually to lead us today and moving forward to action. So let's get started. A quick note. That was a great presentation on technology. And so, yes, we're going to lean on technology for your questions. We have a question and answer period at the end today. So during the presentations, if you have a question for one of the speakers, grab your phone, go to @WaxWorldChefs on Facebook, and you're going to see a post that was just posted. Respond to it, and that's where we'll see your questions, and we'll try to get to them during the question and answer period. So the theme of the rest of today is, yes, we can change food waste. Now, changing topics. What does the Chef's Manifesto and Worldchefs have in common? Quite a lot. Worldchefs and Chef Manifesto leverages resources, leadership, and expertise of chefs around the world to affect and change the world positively. We both are committed to following a sustainability path forward, which recognizes not only the enormous global issues before us, but to finding and implementing solutions. So, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to the host of the rest of today, Paul Newnham. Paul is coordinator for the Sustainable Development Goal 2 Advocacy Hub and was responsible for creating the Chef's Manifesto. Paul brings together NGOs, advocacy groups, civil society, the private sector, and UN agencies to work towards ending world hunger, achieving food security, improving nutrition, and promoting sustainable agriculture as part of the UN World Food Program. Before introducing today's speakers, he will talk about the Chef's Manifesto, a document created by more than 120 chefs, I believe it's 138 to be exact, from around the world, that details how chefs can contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals through simple, practical actions. And I'm also very proud to say that a number of us from Worldchefs have worked very closely in creating the Chef's Manifesto. So, would you please give a warm welcome to Paul Newnham.
Thank you, Chris. It's great to be here. I'm super excited to be in a room full of chefs, people passionate about flavor, taste, and good quality ingredients. It was amazing to hear about the young chefs creating such meals for the needy, and so congratulations to you, showing leadership. And that's what we're going to talk about a bit today. But first, thank you, President Gugler, the board, member countries, chefs, cooks, and other guests. It's great to be here and great to be able to present a lineup of amazing speakers today. So, we're going to talk a little bit about chefs around the world. Chefs have been doing great things, as you all know. They do great things in different ways. They campaign, they speak about different issues. And as I moved around the world in the role that I've been in, I started looking and talking with chefs about the different things that they were doing. What I found was that many chefs were speaking out on different issues. But the challenge was that those voices were not necessarily connected into one agenda. And so we started to say, how do we get chefs' contribution to sustainability, to development, to making the world a better place, more connected? And so we said, well, let's think about what we could connect that to. And so there's a thing called the global goals. These are goals that world leaders in every country of the world, on your behalf, signed up to. And these goals, all 17 of them, they explain how we're going to deal with the biggest problems in the world. Those goals then went into this, these are the goals, and then down here in very small print is all the targets. Now this is incredibly complex, and most chefs, when they look at this, they go, too complicated, because you're trying to run a business, trying to run a kitchen, and sometimes this speak becomes a little bit hard for you to then juggle. So what we did with the Chef's Manifesto is work with chefs around the world, and we translated these goals into these 8 areas. And so this was put into 8 areas that chefs are passionate about. And so you can see from these goals, they're things that are not necessarily new. These are things that you're probably already doing in different ways in your kitchens, in your businesses, and they're things that are important and connected. And so what we did was we just connected them and grounded them in the global goals. And we did this through a process and ended up creating this Chef's Manifesto. And Chris, I think you've got some copies that you're going to give to the board. This is available online. I do have a select number that I was able to put in my luggage. But if not, if you do want one, I can give you my card and we can get you a copy. But this is a simple action plan with examples. You'll see some of the members from this network in there. But what it does is it gives actions about how you can contribute to the United Nations global goals. And so there's a lot of detail in there, but I'm not going to go into it right now. This is all available at chefsmanifesto.com. We had chefs from all over the world, and we're continuing to grow as a network. This is just a small map of the different chefs and the different locations around the world. I think we're up to about 50 countries, and I would love to have more chefs from here join us and be a part of this. Some of you contributed. We've then been working on creating what we are calling action hubs, and we launched our first one in London. We're going to be launching in Copenhagen, in New York and LA, in New Delhi. We're then launching in Lima, Peru. So there's a number of different, and they're growing. I think, people are talking to me regularly. But what I wanted to do is just show a short video, which just gives you a little bit of the energy of the chefs. Because to me, this is about chefs, it's for chefs, and it's to help you highlight the work you're doing on the global stage and connect it to a bigger agenda.
We the chefs
are working together to create a better food future. I am George.
Andy,
Tom from Nigeria.
Switzerland,
Los Angeles,
London.
India.
New Zealand.
Ingredients are medicine.
Ingredients are superpowers. Food is joy.
Food is love.
Food is life.
There are 8 thematic areas.
Ingredients grown with respect to the earth.
Fair its oceans. Protection of biodiversity
and improved animal welfare.
Investment in livelihoods.
Value natural resources.
And reduce waste.
Waste is recyclable.
Waste is unnecessary.
Waste is criminal.
Celebration of local and seasonal food.
A focus on
plant-based ingredients.
Education on food safety.
And healthy diets.
Nutritious food that is accessible
and affordable to all.
Chefs.
Politicians.
Suppliers. Farmers.
Educators.
chefs together can change the world.
Get involved.
Get involved.
Get involved.